Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to chair this evening session, which I consider a very fascinating way to get closer to the ending up of this exciting conference we had. I am Dr. Cozzi of the Center for Iranian Studies. I'm also the chair of the Department of Middle Eastern and African History, Tel Aviv University. The year 2009 is depicted by many analysts as a crucial year for the simple fact that there are some newcomers in Washington and Israel, Obama and Netanyahu. There might also be, or there is a possibility of another one, a newcomer in Tehran, but we will have to wait and see 2 weeks, maybe 1 month. Recently, we saw the much anticipated and portended meeting between Barack Obama and Benjamin Netanyahu. Some questions were raised after that meeting about the direction of these two administrations' policies, and I think it is high time for us to define and explore those questions. This is the reason why we decided to compose that kind of a session with three distinguished guests who are all more than well suited to analyze these developments. It is my pleasure to introduce our speakers this evening. The first will be Professor Stephen Miller, the director of the International Security Program and also co-chair of the U.S. PAGWASH Committee. Professor Miller is the co-author of a monograph titled War with Iraq, Costs, Consequences, and Alternatives. Today he is going to present on the prospects for diplomacy between Iran and the United States. Second in the list will be Professor Paolo Cotta Ramusino. He is a professor of physics at the University of Milan. As the Secretary General of the PAGWASH Conference on Science and World Affairs, Professor Cotta Ramusino has spearheaded PAGWASH current high-level initiatives to facilitate dialogue and track two meetings in areas of conflict involving nuclear weapons or potential proliferation, such as South Asia, the Middle East, and Northeast Asia. Today he is going to assess the consequences of the potential Iranian-US dialogue for Israel. Last but not least will be Ambassador Ephraim Halevi, who is the head of the Shasha Center for Strategic Studies at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He has served as the National Security Advisor to Prime Minister Sharon, the head or the former head of the Mossad, and the Israeli ambassador to the European Union. Today, he is going to elaborate on the dilemmas that Israel faces stemming from Iran. So we have a session that ought to be very fascinating, thought-provoking, and without further ado, Professor Miller, please, the floor is yours.